We're live for another pTGC UFO Space Tube. We're on Twitter Spaces and on YouTube, the Space Tube. Oops. Zen, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Okay, there we go. Cool. You jumped in. Oh, I did this. Something different I did. Everybody I selected, everybody that I follow on Twitter is a speaker, comes in as a speaker. That was an option.
Oh, yeah, I think that it did that for me too. I was like, oh, he added me to speak really quick. So,
yeah, that's so far it's working. So,
yeah, I haven't gotten a chance to look at that video yet. I literally got into my Airbnb 4 hours ago. So I was traveling a lot yesterday.
Yikes. My wife was traveling a lot yesterday and last night. They got in at like 2:30 and they were caravanning my wife and daughter, and they counted 48 deer. She said the closest one they got to is number 46, and that was a scary one.
Oh, wow. While they're driving, or?
Yeah, just out on rural interstate, rural highways, the wild game can cross or be nearby, and it can get a little sketchy. And if you smack one, it could leave you stranded because your car can be disabled potentially. So it's always a hazard. But glad you made it, man.
Yeah, I'm just making my coffee real quick. I'm getting a little bit of a later start this morning. It's 4 a.m. over here where I'm at now.
Oh boy. Let's see. Yeah, we just kind of chillax anyhow the first few minutes. Let's see. I'm thinking. David says afternoon all. His Excellency says good morning, pTGC community. And Willard says good morning. We got 7 viewers on YouTube, 8 now. I dropped this on my Twitter and in the Telegram.
I'm working on it right now. Sponsor live spaces. Let's talk pTGC. Pulse chain. Let's see. There.
So, yeah, man.
Oh my God, I haven't slept in another bed in so long. It's ridiculous.
The bed? Or that it's been so long?
Another bed.
Is the bed ridiculous, though?
Oh, I don't think the bed was ridiculous. I think it just took me a little bit to get to sleep and stuff last night, just being uncomfortable.
Yeah. I had a rough night's sleep myself, honestly. But we press on, and coffee helps.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Thank God this Airbnb has coffee.
That's awesome.
That was the first thing when I got in at like 12 last night. I just went to their cupboards and started digging to make sure they had a coffee for the morning.
Somehow I can picture that. I'd be doing the same thing. I bring my own coffee, man. That's what I do. So I want to share something that I shared with you last night, and we can kind of start it off because it's on the topic of crypto and tech and stuff, and just kind of as people come in. But so, I have been posting some videos on my Twitter because video marketing is like the cat's meow. It's probably the best way to market anything, at least on a computer. So I posted a bunch maybe a dozen videos on my Twitter. And then I realized we need subtitles. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to have some kind of way to create subtitles. I ended up getting this software, and it is so amazing. Though I'm not even going to promote the one I'm using because I bet there are a bunch of them, and I'm just learning about this software, video editing software. And what it does is, I'll just give you the skinny on it. I uploaded a YouTube video. I uploaded your video, your interview with Crypto Kindness, the very first, I don't know if it's the first one, but back in January or February, he interviewed you. And the reason I was literally, how I was going to do this initially was I was going to take my little notebook, which I have with me everywhere, and listen to these audios that I download to my phone from the videos and write down the timestamp. I'm like, okay, I need to record this. And I've done it with my StreamYard, very time intensive process. And then, but what I did is with this software, you can upload an entire YouTube video. And then when it's on the site, you click this button just to simplify it for everybody. You can literally click a button and the AI will go in there and pull the best conversation pieces. And you can even tell it, I want these to be 30 seconds, or I want them to be between 60 and 90 seconds. You can tell it whatever, and you can tell it the aspect ratios and all this. So I did this last night with that interview with you in Kindness, and it gave me like 10 different segments out of that interview. And it, not only that, but it rates them. It puts the best one at the top, and it gives you a rate like 9 out of 10. And this is a 9 out of 10 because, dude, the machine will even find segments that says, like, let's say the conversation starts out with like, wow, do you mean to tell me that pTGC and UFO pay users while the tokens are deflating? It will start at wow, because it'll pick that up. And not only that, it'll try to start at a wow or where there's some voice inflection, some excitement. It'll try to end where there's some excitement too. And that's important in marketing. You always want to, if you can, start on a bang and end on the bang. The stuff in the middle is just, it can be vanilla, but you want to start well, end well. Then this software does it. And then you've got your 59-second video that meets the specs for YouTube Shorts, and you can pop it up on your YouTube channel. And I put one on Twitter last night and was doing some research using ChatGPT, and the videos I was uploading are not ideal because they're not formatted for mobile. Unlike ChatGPT, I asked it, I said, how do most people interact with Twitter? Do they do it on a phone or on a computer? And it's like, on a phone. I'm like, okay, we're going to upload the, whatever it is, 16:9 aspect ratio or something like that. So the one that I posted last night is on my Twitter feed, and it is formatted for mobile. And dude, it puts in the subtitles. It puts in everything for me, and it eliminates spaces. It'll eliminate ums and uhs and compress everything. How amazing is that?
Wow, that's pretty cool. So I need to watch that video still. Like I said, I had a late start this morning, so I still need to watch it, but that sounds beyond amazing. Especially if you can just do that to every video and just find the highlights.
Because I was literally listening to videos and writing down the timestamps so I could go back and record with my StreamYard and then upload from there. And now I've got this machine that it'll do the editing for me. I still have to download it and upload it. But for the viewers on YouTube, I'm showing the video that I uploaded last night. And I've got another one triggered that should drop on my Twitter this morning at 9 o'clock. We'll see if it works this time.
Do you want to just try to play it while we're here?
Yes, let's do that.
It's only a minute or so.
Yeah, and I actually listened to this segment this morning on my way to work, and I think it does a handsome job of. Let me just get this speaker set up here. It does a fabulous job of setting up of eliminating content that's not relevant to the discussion. So I got my speaker right here, and I'm going to rewind, replay. All right, here it goes. That's it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And for the viewers, you can see the subtitles, and there was literally content between the beginning and the end there of that cut that the machine, the AI, eliminated, which is just I don't know. I'm a Gen X, and tech just amazes me. And I'm so happy because this is literally going to free up so much of my time, and now I don't have to go re-listen to these interviews to try to find these little golden nuggets. I'm literally just going to upload them to this machine and get some good clips and post them to my Twitter and my YouTube to market pTGC and Pulse.
Yeah, I don't even think you could have, obviously there's a lot of really awesome clips when you go through all of our YouTube videos, but as far as just finding a 1 minute clip, I think the AI did absolutely amazing. I don't think you could, me or you could have picked that much better of a clip.
Yeah. And there were a few others that it picked too. All right. Can you guys hear me on YouTube? Could somebody let me know? And Crypto Stylist says pTGC pulse ratio is crazy. Let me just. Do you got any burning comments on anything, Zen? I don't want to hog the show.
I'll make a comment on that because I made a specific post about it this week. It's crazy that we're hitting all-time highs against Pulse right now. Comparatively, there's one higher spot that was a few months ago, but that higher spot was mainly just due to PDI was at a 200 million market cap, I believe. And right now, PDI is at a 40 million market cap. So a lot of the reason we were up at that level was due to PDI and Hart's Law. So the fact that we're actually coming close to retesting that same rate, but without any of the help of any of the altcoins we're connected to, it's solely just based on the mechanics of pTGC and pTGC becoming more valuable, speaks a lot to me. So a lot of the things that we have been using in the past to get price appreciation, like PDI's appreciation, PulseX's appreciation, Ink's appreciation, Teddy Bear's appreciation, currently we're not using any of those because those are all down pretty heavily against Pulse Chain, and we're still testing all-time highs. So that means we're doing this lift solely on the performance of pTGC, which is super awesome. This shows you that we're getting stronger.
Yes. Yeah, and I want to show you guys something that I built into the spreadsheet. And unfortunately, I guess you can't see it. Are you watching on YouTube, perhaps?
Me, no.
Okay. So
I don't have
I'll try to narrate. This is the spreadsheet that is available in the Telegram. You just type in /spreadsheet. And I really need to create some videos to walk you guys through all this mess because I'm sure for practically everyone, it looks like a mess. But if you go to pTGC Rewards Estimator and UFO Rewards Estimator, there's a ton of information in there for not only you, but about the system. So just briefly, you can type in your holdings and get an estimate of what you earned yesterday for unstaked pTGC, staked pTGC, and this is based on, like, you can change the orange fields. The blue fields are your output. Okay, just real quick. And then same thing for the UFO Rewards Estimator. Well, let's go back to the pTGC rewards. What I started doing on August 7th is recording the ratio of pulse to pTGC, and I just get that off Deck Screener. So on August 7th, the ratio was 0.6567, and yesterday, or actually this morning when I took the reading, it was 0.7333, which is an increase of 11.66%. Okay, from the oldest reading to the newest reading, there's a difference of 11.66%. On UFO, from the oldest reading to the newest reading, the difference is 17.05. So we have 11.66 pTGC and 17.05. That's the difference in the ratios from August 7th to today, which I find compelling. And I think some of it has to do with, like how we were talking earlier this week, that when pTGC launched, there was an opportunity for people to get larger bags. When UFO launched, it was a completely different story. We faked out the bots, and nobody had an opportunity to get in at an exorbitantly low price. And so what you have is you have two assets, one pTGC, where people got have big bags, they've made massive profits, and people are taking some profits. So you're seeing price volatility, and it's reflected in the ratio. Then you have UFO that nobody got an exorbitant large bag. So nobody's really taking profit. And you can see in the chart how the UFO is much more stable compared to pTGC, and then the ratio is increasing. Does that all make sense, or did I kind of mix that up, Zen?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Obviously, with pTGC, a lot of the X's are also due to the market cap being higher. So pTGC has ran up to a 40 million market or a 35 million market cap at one point, comparatively to UFO only has hit a 3.5 mil market cap. So definitely a lot of people are more up on pTGC. pTGC also started way slower due to when I came out with pTGC, I didn't have a following or anything like that. So a lot of the people who got in were making a lot riskier of a decision just based on I had no trust built at that time. There was no community built at that time. So the market cap was way lower. It also started with a whole lot less. And when you start with less LP, that makes the token price increase faster, and also it kind of starts the price a little bit lower. So overall, it started a little bit lower comparatively to UFO. With UFO, I actually like the distribution of UFO a lot because it's very, very fair. A lot of people have gotten in at the same rate, and the LP is so large that it hasn't like jacked the price up when new money comes into an extreme amount. And over time, I think that equals really, really strong growth. Almost kind of similar to, like, let's say Pulse Chain. When Pulse Chain was launched, technically everyone got roughly the same price, besides like if you got amplifiers and stuff like that due to large bags. But let's say you're just an average Joe, everyone kind of got the same price. And what that actually equals, it equals a really, really fair and level playing field. And I actually love that about UFO, is it's a pretty fair and level playing field moving forward from here. And it's not only about just being lucky and finding pTGC early or degenning. Let's say we kind of have a reputation. You can feel that you can trust our ecosystem now, and the launch was very fair and it's distributed really well, in my opinion. And I think you kind of see that in the chart.
Yep. Oh, hold on a second. Derek, you have the mic.
Hey guys, good morning. I have requested to speak because Prairie, as you and Zan were explaining the rationale as to why the charts between pTGC and UFO are the way that they are, I was also wondering about that as I had been contemplating as to which asset I should go heavier on at certain points in times. So when I was looking at the UFO chart, I'm like, okay, here's the point at which it launched, and then basically from that point on, it's pretty much sideways and stable. And I was wondering why that was in comparison to pTGC. So as Zan was giving that explanation, I'm like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. So even though I didn't find out about pTGC and UFO until much later, and even though I, wish I could have got a bigger bag of pTGC, it's still okay because of how the mechanics work over time. And it's because of those mechanics, as you guys were stating, that's why we are as strong as we are right now, even though a lot of the other core tokens and other tokens that pTGC is paired with, even though those tokens are down, it's like we're still holding up relatively well, which speaks volumes, to be honest. And that is what gives me additional confidence and optimism as to how we're going to end up performing once everything else in the market starts to pump up. So it's looking really great. And I'm just really looking forward to see how things go over the next 2 to 4, maybe 6 months or so. Like, it's a really exciting time right now. And I'm just looking forward to seeing what's about to happen. Like, once the market really starts to become more euphoric in this cycle.
I'm with you, man.
That are like somewhat down right now doesn't necessarily even mean they're bad projects or have bad narratives. I'm going to use PDI as an example. There's a lot of stuff found on PDI that is pretty bullish. There's a huge community behind PDI that's pretty bullish. But price is pretty far down from its all-time high right now. And that's solely, in my opinion, just because 99% of crypto is based on human emotion. And that was one thing I hated about crypto, is all the human emotion involved. And that was why we kind of set one of our goals is to not be dependent on human emotion and have things in play that counteract the human emotion and lets us rely off of mechanics and math instead of human emotion. Because we all know relying on human emotion is usually not a good thing when people are emotional.
Agreed.
Yeah. Exactly. And another thing I wanted to say real quick about pTGC is, in my honest opinion, what I think the better play is, for me at least, is pTGC. And the reason why is because, again, looking at the chart, it's down quite a bit compared to its most recent tops. So that does still present opportunity to get in at these prices, and not just looking at it from a chart perspective, but looking at it from an opportunity perspective, because for me, pTGC and UFO is both a short-term and, more importantly, a long-term opportunity, just because of, not just because of how many exits we think we can get, but just because of what it actually offers to the ones who choose to invest in it, because it's truly unique. There's nothing else like pTGC and UFO in terms of how this whole ecosystem has been built. And from a long-term perspective, especially, that is the opportunity that we all should be seizing. And over time, over the next several years even, it's just gonna be truly amazing. So I just wanted to give that little tidbit as well, like as far as like what I personally think about pTGC, UFO, and this entire ecosystem as a whole. Like, it's a really great opportunity to get in now, because we're still very early and we're already seeing how things are developing, how things are moving, and just a great opportunity that this is, in my opinion.
Thanks for that, Derek.
I do get what you're saying as far as, obviously pTGC is on a decent dip right now, especially compared to dollar value instead of compared to PLS. And that can be opportunity, because with the launch of pTGC, it was a lot more, I would say, natural and standard to crypto, to where early people got huge bags, the price runs up, they sell off, new people come in and accumulate that dip, and then the price runs up again, those bigger bag holders sell off, and then here comes a dip, the new guys come in and buy that dip and accumulate more, and then that's, in my opinion, more standard to crypto than UFO, because that's like a natural redistribution, and pTGC does this with just buys and sells, and also with the tokenomics involved with it as well. But then UFO, the machine was doctored in more of a different way to just create an up and to a right movement, which is also really cool in my opinion. And I always kind of go back to, a lot of people like to compare cryptos to each other. Even our community at sometimes tries to compare UFO and pTGC. But I always look at that as comparing apples to oranges. They are not the same product. And even if you compare pTGC to other tokens out there as well, it's usually comparing apples to oranges, because they're not directly the same product at all. They have different mechanics, different tokenomics, different liquidity, and a different community. So, they all have their purpose. They all have why they're there, why they exist. If it's, for finance purposes, or if it's just a meme coin to get people excited.
Yeah. And I was contemplating, while I was out working this week, something that I've heard, but it just was really confirmed in me as I was just thinking while I was working. And that is the thought of taking profit, because you don't want to kill the golden goose. I don't want to touch my principal. Okay, how do I do that? Well, let's just start by reading this post by Pulse Chain DeFi. I put his Twitter in the chat on YouTube so you can follow him. But he says, he posted this morning. In my opinion, both pTGC and UFO are great protocols with benevolent founders who have delivered the ultimate DeFi platforms. If the founder's vision of maintaining one's principal while only selling rewards is embraced by most holders, then I think pTGC and UFO values will consistently increase. This means your rewards can be sold at a higher and higher unit value. Learning to minimize greed could impact the idea of the 4-year cycle, and I think put an end to years of depressing downside price action. So let me show you. This is the 1 million pTGC stake that I made back in February as a test. And what this is my pTGC, but this is not my main holdings. And you can see the rewards is very small. It's only 1 million pTGC. But what hit home for me this week is that we can see on the DApp here the total TGC earned from holding, staking, and locking. And that, to me, that's my profit. That's fair game for Prairie Banana to take to the bank and convert to fiat. So I just wanted to, wanted to say that out loud. You guys, you guys got to make your own decision on what you're going to do with profit. But, thinking about this asset, pTGC and UFO, and not touching the principal, but that's my reward. And I can take that to the bank. I give myself permission. And the same with UFO, I can take that pulse and do whatever I want with it. So here is what I can spend. The trick is now I have to have some method to keep track of how much I, take profit in. And the DApp is not going to help with that. We just have to take note somehow.
Yeah. So I actually have a pretty good analogy about this. And really the point of it is usually with human nature, greed is our demise. Greed always comes up in every story ever told about human nature. And it's always greed that's the demise of human nature. And crypto is actually pretty relevant to this. And this is how I explain it. And this really relates to our community in general, I think a lot more compared to other tokens. Let's say our community finds a fishing hole. There's tons of fish, abundance of fish for everyone. Well, us as a community, we come to this fishing hole every day and we catch enough fish to feed our families for the day. We bring it back. This fishing hole can actually just keep repopulating as the fish mate, and it can feed our families forever. Our community now is fed for our entire lifespan. Right. But if people in our community start to become greedy and they start taking more than they need, then our fish won't repopulate as well. And eventually in this fishing hole, the fish will become extinct. Luckily, our token has mechanics to fight that, which obviously our chart says this, but most tokens don't. So this situation actually comes up in every token to ever exist. Is greedy people come in, human nature. It's not me not calling out anyone. This is basic human nature. You just sometimes have to fight human nature because it's not always correct. And you have to understand that when I'm greedy here, I'm hurting the rest of my community. If I'm actually fair and ethical and I understand that these fish will keep mating and repopulating here, I only need to take what I need for my family today, and I'll come back tomorrow and it will be here as well. And then everyone can eat for the rest of their lives and everyone's fed. But usually greedy people come in and ruin it for the rest. Luckily, we designed ours to fight that scenario because we knew it would come. It's human nature. But it actually shows you how strong delayed gratification and, ethical DCAing out and, taking rewards of what you need to feed your family. Because I strongly do believe that as this machine keeps ticking up, the rewards will be enough to help support people's family. That's my goal. I want people to treat this like a real investment to where they have their initial earnings sitting there, earning them APR, not based on inflation, on a fully deflationary asset that's based on a real utility of generating value due to tokenized market making. But if people actually follow this and work as a community as a whole, like almost like the olden days, like actually step up and work together and greed doesn't take over, amazing things will come from this community. We have the math to back us. We have the mechanics to back us. We have the blockchain to back us. And now just stepping up as a community and following some of these basic ideas that crypto actually veers us from, because there's a lot of scams in crypto and there's a lot of up and down. So people get scared and just want to pull the profits out. The fishing hole doesn't have to move. The fish can just keep repopulating itself if there's a product with longevity and mechanics to do so. Most products don't, 99% fail,
Mhm.
but I do think we have that here. And I think it's really powerful that we could actually see a scenario like that in the future where people of our community can throw our rod into this hole every single day and pull out a fish for our family, and we can actually sit comfortably that it could be a scenario where that same fishing hole is there tomorrow for us.
Yes. Yeah. I had another comment on this scenario, taking profit is that the longer we stay, the longer the market is suppressed. And let's say we stay suppressed through, the first part of next year. Well, that just means that the PTDC rewards will be that much greater into our wallets. So this number here, this 27,000 could be, quite a bit. It could be triple that, honestly, by then, because this is about 4 months old. So it could be triple. And then once we go into the bull market, the value of those tokens is going to increase. So this is how I look at it. And you said this on a stream. You said this with kindness, Zen. You were saying that when the market pulls back and we're getting more rewards into our wallets because the bots are buying more PTDC with that monetary value and giving that to the holders. Well, so we're stacking up more tokens, individual tokens, and when the market recovers, that's when we're going to see the benefit of this suppressed market. Like if we shot to the moon today, let's say PTDC went to $1. Well, this would be $27,000. When you were just talking about delayed gratification, let's say we don't shoot to the moon for another 6 months, and I do a 4x on this token, so that it wouldn't be $27,000. It would be $108,000. You see, and Prairie Banana is willing to wait. So
yeah, that's the nice thing is we make the X's on our principal and we make the X's on our rewards and reflections. So if you're not cashing out your rewards and reflections every day, which some people are, you know what I mean? It's up to the individual. It's, that's what's awesome about this protocol is nothing's got time locks. If you need those funds, take them. They're going to pay the ecosystem to do so. But some people stay, some people need the funds. So, but the cool thing is if you're getting rewards and reflections at the bottom, and let's say it's a good volume day, because obviously since our protocol makes money off of our liquidity pools, obviously the higher our price is, the bigger our liquidity pools are, which then naturally makes more volume because the arbitrage bots have to trade more money. But comparatively, just for example purposes, let's say we have the same volume down here that we have at a 2x from here. Well, all the rewards we're earning down here, we're now earning twice as many rewards. And then when we go back up to that price, we're technically earning twice the APR at these lower levels, which is really powerful. Richard actually talks about this a lot too, because everyone talks about the 10,000x, but no one talks about the APR that you're receiving at the same time as that 10,000x.
Right. Man, I wish I could articulate this ecosystem like you do. But another little nugget I got this week, and Zen, I'm going to open it up for people to jump in and give their backstory on Twitter. If you guys want to ask for the mic, give us your backstory on how you got into PTGC and UFO. If you came from another chain, just 5 minutes, give us your story. If you want to do it on YouTube, let me know in the chat if you want, and I'll give you a link, and you can literally pop up on my YouTube and do it that way. So 2 different options if you want to tell your story. And something that hit home with me this week is that, and I think somebody was saying it in the chat, or maybe I heard you say it, but when people exit the system, PTGC is one token that when people leave, they actually pay to leave. They pay the holders to leave the system. And that is so brilliant. It's so true. It's like they're leaving a tip behind. Only it's really not a tip. What would you call it, Zen, when people exit but they got to pay the tax to exit with their tokens?
Yeah, I think in life itself, a lot of things that are successful don't operate for free. It's people like to pretend they do, but usually there is cost to really good performing assets, and if that cost is an entrance fee or charging people for this, charging people for that. But I just think with this protocol, there is a charge, and that's obviously entering and exiting. You pay the fee, but also that fee isn't just for you. That fee is mainly for the arbitrage bots who are constantly moving the money around. On a normal token that this fee doesn't exist, they get to move this money around free of charge. They're the only ones making the money, and LP providers make a very small percentage. This switches the script and makes it to where the holders of the protocol are actually earning those rewards, and the token itself is going up in value. And I think that does have a price. If you want to be part of this unique club, if you say, or this unique project, there is that entry fee, and and everyone has to play it. It's no different than Billy getting in early or Billy getting in late. It's the same fee. And then when you're sitting there, if Billy gets up tons of profits and he does want to take profits, he's in the same boat as you. It makes the system stronger and stronger and stronger over time, giving our project actual longevity. And that's the most important thing. My goal with this system was never to make 2 people rich and take money from 100 people. My goal is to make thousands of people very, very wealthy, and it continue to do that forever on Pulse Chain. I don't want a stopping point to where a couple people just are cashing out on everyone else. I want it to have longevity and to keep pushing forward. Obviously, there will be bad months and good months, and possibly bad years and good years. But if you do have things put in play to counteract those things and keep the machine chugging in the right direction, I think it puts us in a lot better scenario.
Okay, so I need to say this, that if you do come up and speak, and you don't want Prairie Banana to use this as marketing material on YouTube or Twitter, you need to let me know, and I'll write it down, and I'll make sure you don't do that. But other than that, if you don't say anything that's recorded here is fair game.
I don't know if Blackthorn is willing to come up. I don't think he's given his, and he has a little bit more of a unique one if he's willing to talk, because I actually chatted with him a little bit in the earlier days of pTGC.
Okay.
And I had like an hour and a half phone conversation with him, actually. But he could be busy right now.
Yeah. Well, I need to follow him anyhow. I'm discovering who I'm not following on Twitter in this process. So let me make sure I just didn't open his mic or some crazy thing. Oh, good. Here we go. Blackthorn, you have the mic.
All right, great. Thanks, guys. Can you hear me?
Yep. Lima
yeah,
Charlie.
We can. Sorry to call you out, Blackthorn. I think you have a little bit of an interesting story, so I thought it would be fun for you to come up.
I will tell it as I remember it, and maybe you remember it differently than mine. When I first saw it, I was one of Coach's videos, and it was back in January, and I started looking at it, and I thought to myself, okay, so if you've paired yourself with all these things, then it's like buying the S&P 500. That was my initial thought process. Is that you're not buying one token, you're buying a token that's paired with a whole bunch of others. So when the S&P 500 goes up, the core assets of Pulse Chain, then this goes up too. And so you can kind of you don't have to bet on one horse. You can kind of ride them all, but you're going to get the benefit from most of them. So you won't get all the ups of one single coin, but you won't get all the downs of one single coin either. But I didn't get in. I still didn't kind of get it because I was fundamentally against tax tokens. It bothered me that there was a fee to get in and out, and that bothered me. So I just kind of stood back. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to keep watching these guys. I don't really know what this is going to do. And then I started I watch it go up and up. And then when you launch UFO, and then I realized, oh, wait a minute. Okay, I see how the tax tokens work. And now I see what that does for me and getting in on that. And because my idea was that if every tax token I looked at, people have this tax token, but no one wants to trade on it because there's a fee to get in, there's a fee to get out. And hence you say, hey, I'm going to collect a tax on everyone who transacts with me. And everyone's like, no, I don't care. I don't want to play. So your tax token doesn't actually generate anything. But I started watching pTGC getting transactions. And then I thought, okay, once UFO launched, I took a bunch of my Pulse and Pulse X and I paired it up. I sold 50% of my Pulse, 50% of my Pulse X to pair it up in UFO and Pulse. And it's been generating very consistent rewards. And every reward I get, it's almost like every day I go in there, I pull, 20,000, 10,000, $25,000 Pulse every day, and I buy pTGC. And so I'm just slowly stacking my bag of pTGC using the UFO rewards. But what I was noticing, and I put this on Facebook, Twitter yesterday, and then I deleted it because I realized I was kind of showing my bags. It's only one of my wallets, but I didn't want to do that. But when I put in a whole bunch of stuff on UFO, I got a UFO share that is now much higher than what the LP pools show. I'm down like 150 million in UFO on the Pulse on the V2 Pulse X pairing compared to my UFO share because UFO's gone up in price, and so people are buying it away from me in the pools. But my UFO share is the same, so I'm still getting that same reward. So now I'm trying to decide how much more I should allocate to this. I've got about 3 or 4 ETH I can throw at it, and I'm looking for the right opportunity to jump in. But yeah, I see what this can do, and it finally got me excited. So, now it got me excited 2 months ago when UFO first launched. I don't know if that's the story you wanted, but that's the story I remember.
Yeah, and pretty much we talked for like an hour and a half, and you were pretty much an all RH guy. Is that correct? If I'm remembering it correct, you pretty much were like, I don't want to part with my RH tokens, which I understand. You know what I mean? We waited 2 years for them ultimately. So, and then, I think it's awesome that eventually you saw some value in this ecosystem and come aboard. So I appreciate you coming up.
Yeah, no problem. And I just realized that it was paired to the RH stuff, so it's not going to go down. I'm not going to lose. And
yeah, the only thing you're losing right now is your UFO and your LP, and you're making more RH tickers.
Yep. And I don't even keep the Pulse. I trade it into pTGC every day. So yeah, that's my story. Thanks for listening.
Cool. Anybody else want to jump in? Like I said last week, this space stream is not about Prairie Banana. It's not about Zen or Coach. Where's Coach? There he is. It's about, it's for us. It's the whole purpose is to build this community, because if we're a strong community, then we can onboard people.
I see Goo God's in there. I think Goo God probably has a pretty interesting story, and then he even has gone as far as, helping support pTGC as well, if he wants to come up and.
Perhaps while we're waiting for him, I want to make a comment on compounding, recycling. You can use the terms interchangeably. Now, I heard somebody else say that they're recycling daily. And you can do that. This is not financial advice, but I struggled with this when I first got into pTGC, and I realized I could compound as much as I want on this Pulse network, and it doesn't cost me anything, barely anything. And so I was compounding frequently. And then I reached out on Twitter, and I believe it was you, Zen, not Twitter, Telegram, that said, really compounding more than once or twice a week is not profitable. So I built a little calculator to illustrate that, and it's true. And I found it, and I discovered that truth by building this sheet. Compounding weekly is sufficient unless you get like a large wave of profit. So you can go to this little calculator and click on compounding yield. And there's a video tutorial up here at the top that you can watch that just walks you through estimating it for yourself. So you can see for yourself that, compounding more than about weekly is, yes, you will earn more, but it might not be exciting. So that's just for the audience. Good. What's happening?
Yo, good morning, bro. So I didn't come up to really tell my story or anything like that, just kind of waking up, but something triggered me, right, that I just heard. And they said, Zen just said now, you're losing your UFO and you're getting RH tickers, right? So that's cool, right? But I don't know, man. Maybe I'm too much of a pTGC maxi or something, but that doesn't sit well with me. I can't do it. You know what I mean? And it's almost like the same thing with PDI, right? When PDI was pumping and everybody was like, yeah, oh, euphoric over PDI. It's like, why sell it? Why sell it, right? Because what are you gonna do? Go into Pulse? Like, no. For that, just cash out, right? So I don't know. Maybe I'm too much of a maxi. Maybe I'm too bullish on the protocols here in this ecosystem. But I don't know, man. I think this is better than anything. You understand? So I just wanted to come and spark that discussion and see how y'all felt.
Yeah, I agree with that statement, Guga. That's like me personally. Not that I want to talk about my personals, but I don't have all of my UFO and LP because I want to hold the token because I think the token will do very, very well against Pulse. And if you do all LP, then naturally you get exited out, and that's how LP works. I guess it's not in permanent loss if you never close those LPs down and you're just using them as a pulse chain printer, but you're 100% correct. You're not going to get the X's that just holding it gets if you're in it for the X's. If you're in it for the APR, you'll get more by providing liquidity.
Yeah, I've started doing that with a lot of my bags too. Instead of just LPing absolutely everything, it's like, all right, you get the fees and everything else, but I'm not really getting my rewards that I want. I'm not getting my reflections that I want. So yeah, I've left my LPs alone. In my mind, they don't even exist anymore. I'm going to sit on them for years.
Yeah.
And I'm just accumulating everything again, liquid.
I like
and it's
that.
been actually kind of fun.
Yeah, the APR, it could never compare to the X's. You know what I mean? That you can never match the X's that these can actually do. That's why we're here in crypto, is for the X's for the most part. I've been saying this saying a lot, is we come for the X's, we stay for the APR with these tokens. And, that's a good point. You got to appreciate you bringing that up because, that the X's are important too.
Yep, that is true. That's a good point. And I'm showing on YouTube with this DApp, and I didn't realize this. I thought when you entered LP, when you made an LP with UFO and Pulse, for example, I thought when you ended it, you had to end the entire thing, the entire LP. But you can literally tell the DApp how much UFO you want to exit. Like if let's say all of your UFO was in LP and you just heard Goo talking about how he wants to have some liquid. If you wanted to exit, if you wanted to make some of your UFO liquid, you can do that down to the very single UFO right on the DAP, which is pretty cool.
Less rewards, and just like Blackthorn was saying, and use those PLS rewards to start building up your liquid bag, if that's in pTGC or UFO, and use that as the X's bag. Definitely thousands of different ways to play it, but I 100% agree with Goo God. I don't have every single bit of my UFO in LP. I have a good chunk of it, probably because I have a longer time horizon than most people, just obviously. So I'm mainly for the APR in these protocols, but X's are important for most people. So make sure you get the X's too.
Yep. I'm probably about 85% LP'd. I haven't actually looked at it, but I should know. If we have marketing people in here, I know Goo God is one. I am looking for advice on marketing. So if you guys see anything in my Twitter or my YouTube, if you have any comments, get them to me. I just told somebody this morning, I'm bulletproof. You are not going to hurt my feelings by giving me constructive feedback about anything I'm doing. So my intention is to market pTGC and UFO. I mean, it's pretty clear I've been doing that. Many of us are. What was I going to say? Okay, I want to bring people over to Pulse because they have to land on Pulse and then discover pTGC and UFO. Well, the trick is to get them over here. And how do we get them over here? Maybe we can have this conversation. How do we get people from? I don't even want to talk about other networks. Like we can just talk about Ethereum because that's the big dog. How do we get the eyeballs of people on Ethereum over to Pulse and then onto? Because you've said it before. They're going to come to Pulse and they're not going to buy the native token. They're going to speculate on altcoins. So how do we get them over here?
Well, they're going to, of course, buy the native token, but the main reason most people switch to new blockchains is for an altcoin that's pumping. So, in my opinion, most people aren't going to come to Pulse Chain until we can get some altcoins pumping. If that's through pTGC or UFO or some of the other projects that are here, like PDI or Teddy Bear. And I'm saying that in particularly, I see Moon King is in listening. He is obviously a marketing specialist, so he could definitely give you a suggestion there. And then also, I would like to hear his reason of what attracted him to pTGC and UFO, if he's willing to come up and speak for a couple of minutes. Obviously, he speaks all the time, so no worries if you can't, Moon King, but I would love to hear what you have to say.
Yo, Prairie, I'll tap in for a second.
Please.
I think what you're doing right now is absolutely great, bro. You're spreading awareness and you're spreading education. That's the foundation, right? Those are the roots, because eventually people are gonna come to Pulse Chain because, like Zen said, something's gonna pump. One of these tickers, they're gonna pump. They're gonna pump crazy. They're not gonna stop pumping, and everybody's gonna start coming over. So this is why I suggest everybody here, everybody, it doesn't matter if you have 1 follower or 1 million followers, make a how-to tweet how to get onto Pulse Chain. Put all the links in there, put all the contract addresses, do everything you got to do, bridges and everything else, all those things, put it right there in your tweet and then pin it. And as you gain popularity, more and more people, they'll go and visit your page and they'll see this. They'll be like, oh, Pulse Chain, what's this? Oh, I got this contract here for UFO or for pTGC. Fine, yeah, let's ape into this. I think that's kind of how we have to do it right now just because the native token is so volatile. So one day we could be pumping and the next day Pulse rugs you. You're like, what the hell? You know what I mean? So I think what you're doing is great, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate your comments very much.
Yeah, so Moon King came up. He's, in my opinion, probably onboarded the most people to Pulse Chain out of anyone. So he could probably give some awesome suggestions too.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's like right now, it's kind of a dead time. So, getting people over here is it's just not the time right now. I think when it starts is when Pulse Chain gets back over stack price and just uses that as support. Once that happens, more confidence will come in the markets. And then I think you're going, like you said, it's the other coins that people are going to chase after because that's fast money. So it's going to be fast, easy money. It's going to become who's the loudest community at the end of the day. So that's what it's going to be. Who's the loudest while pumping? So raid groups, it needs to be intact. Like you should be preparing that for now. Who's getting the most likes? Who's getting the most retweets? Because that's it's all algorithm generated. So whoever gets the most raids and just have the memes and the pictures and videos and all that stuff ready, like that is key. Like for example, for that, I saw that video for pTGC. I don't know if it is because I don't really check many people's Twitter accounts, but that should be pinned on, and then that pinned on the message, so you can make that become a blue check mark for pTGC. I don't know if they got a blue check mark. If they do, get one, 100%. UFO. If you don't have a blue check mark, get one. You want to get better? Be a gold check mark. Do what it takes to become a gold check mark, because that's going to separate yourself from everybody else. Teddy Bear is probably not going to have a gold check mark. pTGC is not going to have a gold check mark. But get it ready now so that when it comes, like it separates from everybody else. It's all about who's going to be the loudest at the time, and you're going to get one shot to do it. You just got to execute when it happens.
I appreciate that, B-Roots. Yeah, that's, we just recently started doing these spaces twice a week. So that was one of the biggest reasons why we started doing them here at the bottom, because when Pulse Chain does start moving, we want to be already in the groove of having a place 2 times a week where people are ending up just to learn about Pulse Chain, and then obviously preferably about pTGC and UFO as well.
And also my recommendation, keep it simple. As much as you can, keep it simple. pTGC is not easy, but the more simple you keep it, the better it is for the average person, because the average person in crypto is not smart and not going to be able to figure out everything that's going on with pTGC, even a Tropa. You rarely hear me talking about a Tropa anymore, because I just realized that majority of people it's just too much. So you just talk about pTGC going to $1, and then they just join that bandwagon, and then they're like, "Oh, Tropa's helping to do it." Yeah, that's how it's going. And just keep it simple. When you keep things simple, you're going to get more people. Of course, people want to chase green candles, but when you keep it very simple and just say, "Hey, this is what it does. This is what makes price pump." Boom, that's it. If you can't explain pTGC in 30 seconds in a 30-second pitch, you're not keeping it simple. So always think of it that way. How can I pitch it to somebody in 30 seconds or less? Because the average person stops paying attention at 12 seconds. So I'm saying double that for the average crypto person on why it pumps. But you got to be able to lock someone in, be able to explain it to somebody in a very bullish way in 30 seconds or less. And if you can't do that, then you're getting a little. You're gonna get some people, but there are a lot of whales that are stupid. So don't underestimate them. So just keep it simple. That's always works in crypto. Keep it simple.
Okay. I have a question for you. So when you're talking about rating groups, are you talking about like rating people's Twitter posts and when they're streaming, rating the chats?
So when I say rating, anytime. Okay, so how many wallet holders does pTGC have?
6,500, I believe.
Okay, how many of them would you say are active?
400. That's just a guess.
All right, so every pTGC tweet that you see has a $sign pTGC. At minimum, there should be 200 likes and retweets on every single one of those.
Okay.
So I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. Say, all right, this is a slow day. Half of those people that are active should be doing that. That's the stuff that marketers, like people like myself, we kind of look at, because what does that do? That's a possibility of a follow, and that's algorithm.
Yeah.
So the more I see that, the more I'm willing to tweet about it. The more I'm like, okay, this is boosting my algorithm.
Yeah.
Which is boosting their algorithm, and everybody's happy and everybody's winning on an algorithm type thing. So if people, as soon as you see pTGC, there should be a Twitter group that's specifically for that. If you want to pay them in pTGC monthly or something small, just for doing what they should be doing anyway, that's a bonus. That's a bonus. But that's what the DAO's for. I mean, you know what I mean? Like we could use something like that. It's like, hey, it's we can split this amongst the groups. But either way, I mean, it should be done for free. You shouldn't have to entice people to freaking pump their bags. But at the same time, if you got 400 people that are active constantly in the Telegram talking, you should be fine with retweeting and liking every single pTGC post, because really all it takes is 10 minutes a day to do that.
Oh yeah.
It's not much, but that algorithm, that helps, because Pulse Chain, believe it or not, it's small, and there's only so many good projects. So it's going to be the battle of who can be the loudest amongst those small projects, because when things get going, you want as much economic energy coming to you and not the others. So you kind of want to be greedy in a way.
Yeah. I would add on to that. So there are 144 people online right now in the Grays Currency Telegram. And I would say that now, now is the time to set habits in place of rating tweets. This side of the bull market, to set those habits of every morning I get up and I go either into the Telegram or onto Twitter, and I find tweets about pTGC and UFO, and I like them and I comment. If we wait until the bull market to try to set a daily habit like that, it might be too late. What you said, B-Roots, is impactful, that we really need to get our game together now in advance. And I say, because I'm kind of a habits person, I'd like to be regular in everything that I do. And setting a habit of doing that once a day, whether it's Monday through Friday or every single day, could be impactful for our bottom line. I agree with what you said. Good stuff, man.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to touch base on one thing he was saying too, I guess for the listeners more. I know a lot of people have reasons they don't like fee-based tokens, but in my opinion, one of the nicest things about the fee-based token is it actually has a incentive program built into the contract itself, to where as you onboard more people, it actually helps your bags not only by the price going up, but more tokens land in your wallet. And I know it's very small amounts comparatively to where, like, if you onboarded someone and you just got handed some straight cash, because it gets distributed amongst everyone. But with this contract, there is things like that actually built into the code. So as you onboard people, you actually are putting more pTGC in your wallet and actually taking pTGC off the market.
Oh yeah.
With just that, with every single onboard, with every single arbitrage trade, everything. It's a slow process. It's one grain of sand at a time to fill a bucket, but over time it does start to add up.
Yeah, I mean, I know pTGC, Atropa, even Pulsex, they preach the buy and burn and whatnot. But really, truly, what makes price go up is people buying and holding. So that's the one thing. Everything extra is an extra boost. It helps. But in the end, getting a person to come in to buy the token and speculate on how high it would go is what matters the most. It's always going to be that. And the reason why is when they're making money, they're going to talk about to the next person. And when that person's making money, they're going to talk about to the next person. So in reality, if someone buys and we're at a $50 million market cap, and someone gives me $20,000 I decide to buy $20,000 of pTGC, well, I'm holding that $20,000 until it turns into $200,000 on a 10X. That is a lot, and that's a lot of tokens taken off the market. But at the same time, when that person's making money, he's going to bring in the next person that's willing to pay $20,000, $25,000, and that's how you really get the ball rolling. In crypto, you can have buys and burns and all that, but at the end of the day, what matters is the most is people coming in, buying up the token, holding the token, and people speculating on how high it would go. All the other stuff comes into play as an extra boost. So if you understand that, that means you get out of the mindset of, well, we don't need extra people to go up. No, in a way, you don't need extra people to go up. But guess what? It's going to go up a lot faster and a lot harder when there are people coming in buying the token. So that's the reason why rating is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, like our tokenomics will keep pushing ourselves upward and to the right, but that becomes a very long and boring journey. And the more people we can onboard, it just amplifies the system times so much greater. And then our buy and burns and LPs that are happening in the background just become that much more impactful, because the higher our price goes, the larger our liquidity web becomes, and the larger our liquidity web becomes, the more our bots will have to trade our project, which makes us less dependent on human interaction. The more humans come in, which is just like a cool scenario. But yes, I agree 100% what you say. The most impactful thing on the chart is human interaction and buying the token itself, because the bots can't tell their friend to also come into the community, but a human can't.
Zen, should we talk about the group that we have set up for promoting pTGC? The TGC engagement group. I know I'm taking a chance by bringing this up.
Yeah, so we do have a small engagement group set up. It's died off a little bit recently. So if anyone does want to join that and help in that contribution, feel free to reach out to Banana or me, and we'll get you added over to that.
Do you guys have and Gugas probably know about this, do you guys have the Telegram lock thing in your guys' Telegram that someone raised? It locks the Telegram, and until you get a certain amount of likes and retweets on that. Shield.
Yeah, we got it.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Yeah, good point.
We haven't been using it for lately.
True.
Some people don't like it, but we need to go back to doing all that kind of stuff moving forward.
I'm gonna let you know, every single big time meme coin does it, and that allows the rating and that allows the algorithm. If they don't like it, they don't understand algorithms and how it can make your project grow. So even if they don't like it, I would say, hey, create a new Telegram group. It's one of those deals because you just don't see the impact of that. It works, and people are excited. I'll give an example. Nero's pumping and went straight to a freaking $300 million market cap. It's because people are excited about it. So right now it's a little slow So I can see why people think it's pointless, it's stupid, it's blah, 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 blah. But if pTGC was pumping, they would be excited to do it because of the excitement of how many more people they can get in the Telegram group. So like you said, just make it small, make it 5, 10 likes and retweets so it can be done very fast and quickly, but just make it a habit and make it part of the culture because it is part of the meme coin culture and it does work.
Yeah, 100% agree. And then also right now, like we have 55 people in the room. We only have 6 likes and 3 reposts. So that needs to be picked up. And actually, let me just shield the room for a second from speaking, and everybody get this up to about 20 likes and 15 retweets, at least minimum. So.
Okay, that's good stuff.
Yo, coach, what you doing? You coaching a little league game over there, son, bro?
Hey, I'm at soccer practice too, so.
Okay, I was close. But what B Roots was saying about Shield, like y'all know me, y'all know I'm all over the place, and you know it doesn't matter if it's a meme coin, utility token, no matter what. The raid bots and the Shield bots, they send projects. Like they bring awareness, they bring the eyes, they bring the people. Like they're very useful, and I've seen firsthand projects completely just take off only because of that.
I'm going to start using that on my tweets. I haven't done it once yet, and I have that privilege. And I wrote it down. I'm going to start using the raid lock on some of my tweets because I want them to be promoted. I want eyeballs on these tokens. I would like to see pTGC and UFO go viral. That would be amazing.
And like right after I just said get some likes and get some retweets, we already doubled everything. So what a concept.
Yeah. Yeah. I hadn't even hearted my own post. I don't even know if that works, but I usually do. It probably works. Yeah. Yeah, that was good stuff. Really good stuff, Moon King. Very much appreciated. And if you got any other comments, if you think of anything, jump in, man, because we're all ears. And does anyone else have any comments about marketing? Since we're on the topic, what do you got?
I've got a question.
Shoot.
So I was talking with an old friend 2 nights ago, and I told him that I'm pretty heavy into crypto. He's like, you know what? I was into crypto like 5 or 6 years ago, and I put everything on a cold wallet and just forgot about it. And I said, what's it now? And he said, no, about $500,000. Like, you have $500,000 on a cold storage wallet you have just forgot about? He said, yeah, I discovered it a few weeks ago, and I don't know what to do with it.
Hot dog.
And so, what's that?
I said hot dog.
Yeah.
Happy days for that dude.
And so I started talking about pTGC, and I realized that this is the first time I ever even talked about it. And I was kind of stumbling over my words, and I thought I made it a clear idea, but I don't think I did, because he's like, okay, I'll look into that. And I texted him that video that came out 2 or 3 days ago about it. I think it was Cryptographics made it. Yeah. I texted him the video. It's like, here, check this out. Go figure this out, because if you don't put your whole bag in it, put something in it, and it's going to grow. Because what you bought 8 years ago was just sitting there, but it's not. It's growing by the market growth, but not because it's not compounding upon itself. This will help compound upon your assets. And he said, okay, cool, thanks. But I haven't followed up with him, and I realized that I wasn't doing a very good job, so I just shared the video, and that's where I stopped. And maybe I should do better or worse. I don't know.
You probably did better than you think when you were talking to him, and you did great by sending him the video. Now you just got to follow up with him. And in my opinion, you should make sure that he knows how to get over to the Pulse network, because he has to be over here before he can transact.
Yeah.
You know.
Does that video show you how to buy pTGC?
I don't believe so.
Do you guys have a professional video like that on how to buy pTGC?
Yeah, we have one from Crypto Kindness back in the day.
How long is it?
I think it's fairly short. I think it's probably a 5-minute video.
Okay. Yeah. Can you send me that video? Because For example, like Teddy Bear and P-Dye, whenever I make a tweet and someone says, how do I buy? All I do is just give them the same video over and over and over again. I probably use that in my tweets at least 100 times, where I've just brought people to Teddy Bear just by doing that. Like, how do I buy it? And it just makes it so much easier where I don't have to like type it out, and video format is always best for people.
It's less than 3 minutes. I'll send it to you.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
You bet.
Yeah, I think it was Blackthorn talking. My Twitter's acting up, but Blackthorn, I think maybe that is also a great example of what D-Roots was talking about earlier, to where it's pTGC and UFO are pretty complex protocols, and even someone that knows what a cold storage wallet is and everything like that might be kind of looking at you like a deer in headlights. So simple sometimes might be better in the initial onboarding process, and then get them the video and stuff like that.
Yeah, so Blackthorn, I would just follow up with that gentleman. Couldn't hurt.
Yeah, good way is like, it's like a sales tactic, you know. You give them the video of what it is, and then you say, let me know when you're finished watching it. Maybe 24 hours. Did you watch the video? Yeah, pretty cool. And then you send them the video of how to buy it, and just let them do it. So that's basically what it is, how to buy it. It's very minimum talking. Once again, keep it easy, keep it very easy, keep it simple. And then maybe as price starts pumping, if they decide not to buy it, they have the access on how to buy it. And that will become a FOMO set of videos that they have, you know, right off the bat. So that's how I do it. You know, give them a how, give them what it is, video, and then, you know, I let them know. Did you check it out? They say yeah. Then you give them the how to buy it. It's very little pressure, and you're giving them information that they need.
Yeah. Then you can invite them to the Telegram if they have any questions, or they obviously they can ask you. We have spaces 2 times a week. They can jump in and ask any questions that way. Anybody else want to jump in and give your backstory?
We do a little bit at this time. If anyone wants to come up, we let them kind of say what was the thing that attracted them to pTGC and UFO, especially because you're more of a meme guy. I don't know if you feel comfortable with saying some of the things that you liked about pTGC and UFO, especially because it's a little bit against your normal things that you call and talk about.
Let's see if he's still here. Yep.
You know, it was kind of a timing thing.
like Zen said, they'll come for the X's, but they'll stay for the APR.
Yeah, and whether it's a meme coin or not, that's just splitting hairs, in my opinion. Not worth arguing over.
Well, the truth is, it's a fun narrative, at least.
Yes.
And I think the narrative is a narrative that hasn't been capitalized in crypto as far as just alien tech in general. And then on top of that, you know, you never know when some aliens are going to be spotted or, you know, anything like that. So they're always being talked about in the news. I do think it's a meme to an extent, or I like to use the word narrative, but I think it's fun and everyone can relate it to it. Everyone has thought about it. You even look at Somni, or Sami makes videos all the time just talking about aliens and UFOs because he specifically loves just talking about aliens and UFOs, not because of our protocol in general, but just because it's a fun topic to talk about. And I think it's easy for us to capitalize on, especially if we do become some of the top tokens in crypto in general, or at least just on Pulse Chain. We will really take that narrative as ours, because no one's really done too well with it so far, in my opinion.
Yeah, even if you ran away with it as a meme coin, there's not many meme coins with actual like technology behind it. So I mean, you can be like, oh, we're the first meme coin to blah 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 blah. Like this market, believe it or not, also if you don't realize it yet, but it's a meme coin market. It's not smart contract. It's not DeFi summer. So you know, it is DeFi. It's clearly DeFi, but it's not 2020 DeFi. So you know, if you got this DeFi and you just say, all right, it's clear that what's hot nowadays is meme coins for this cycle. So it could be like, let's just jump on that narrative. But what makes us different? What makes us just not a regular meme coin? We actually have tech behind it, alien tech behind it, and that just allows you to like be the first. I don't know of a single one that you know, these meme coins don't have like actual stuff going on behind it that actually works, and it's just as it's not centralized. So just, you know, sometimes I just say just go with it and just be the first in the whole crypto market to have that, and that is okay. Especially if it's bringing people in. Like it's just don't get so bent on shape of the marketing behind it, especially because we're all here for money. We're not here to just like sit there and cry on whether it's a meme coin or a DeFi coin. That doesn't pump your bag. You're sitting there arguing about that. So it's like sometimes people just really get so bent out of shape about the most stupid things, when in reality, if it works, you know, the DeFi part will come in later, and just market it the right way. So don't be afraid to take that route. Yeah, you're going to get a couple of upset people, but this is a meme coin cycle, whether you like it or not. And I told you it would be.
Stay human. You have the mic.
Mike, Banana, sorry, I was talking over you.
No, I didn't notice. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, thanks to B-Roots for giving us that piece of advice.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's a meme coin or called a narrative, as long as it's getting adoption and it's attracting people to our community. That's what matters most.
Yeah. Dude, I've got notes all over a sticky note from our conversation already. This is good.
Yeah, really, I appreciate you coming up, B-Roots, and giving us all these tips.
Now we just need to take action on them. Okay, so a few minutes ago, who was the gentleman that was talking about his friend? He had a friend that he was trying to onboard, and it just so happens that Cryptographics came out with this video about pTGC this week. If you guys haven't seen it, go to his channel. I'll drop it in the chat, the video link. Go watch the video. And at the end, he promotes a class that he's going to do, a master's class on pTGC. It's going to be September 14th. I'm sure there's going to be a fee. I have personally sat through one of his classes. That man will pigeonhole himself in his office between now and September 14th working on this class. I know this because when he puts on this class, he will have so many slides to show you and handouts. He'll probably have spreadsheets that he will review with you and give you a link to. He will give you materials. I'm shilling his class. If you're new and you're trying to figure out pTGC, when he makes it available and he gets us some marketing material, we're going to be posting it in the chat and on Twitter. And it comes highly recommended. Steve's a great guy. He loves to teach. And he'll do an outstanding job, in my opinion. And he will get you to help you hit the ground running in your pTGC journey if you're brand new. I want to attend because I am 100% certain that I'd pick something up, probably more than one something. So if anybody knows that gentleman, what was his name? Black something. He was in here and now he's gone. If you know how to reach out to him, let him know that he can invite his buddy to Steve's class September 14th. And I'll drop that video in the chat. He pitches that right at the end, but just watch our Twitter. We'll be pitching. We'll be shilling it a little bit more.
Yeah, I guess I just want to point out, I know he's worked on that video for probably like a month, it seemed like.
Yeah.
And he put a lot of effort in, free of charge for the pTGC community. I think he's going to be doing more videos in the future as well. I think that just shows that he has a lot of drive and integrity in the stuff he puts out. So if you haven't seen this video, I personally think it's one of the best, if not the best pTGC video quick explainer that's out to date. Check it out, give him a like, give him a subscribe. But I'm hoping that he, really likes the engagement that he got. I think B-Roots talked about that as a person who makes content, you want to see that people you're making content for actually interact with the content that you're creating for them. So obviously if we show support back to graphics, he'll probably make a UFO explainer video and maybe a staking video, or even maybe another buying pTGC or buying pTGC video or UFO video in the future. I'm sure he could make tons of content if our community is loud enough and supportive enough to his venture as well.
Yeah. So Shaka Vibes made a comment in the chat. He says pTGC, the first meme coin with utility. That's so true. I mean, Nate, let's find another meme coin that actually has utility. I don't know all the meme coins, but we could probably play on that. So how do we market, or do we want to market pTGC as a meme coin? If we do, how do we do it?
The first thing on your page is a great thing to do, because as people visit your page, you obviously have the big aliens, big UFO, whatever. As it pops up, the first meme coin with utility. That should be the first thing you see with the logo or the video on your home website page.
Okay.
And then obviously on your Twitter. That should be the first thing that says on your Twitter in your description.
Okay. And I can already think of other places where I can use that same logo, that same slogan, pitch.
And all that is branding, and that's a very good tagline. So it's just, you're putting that into people's mindset, and like I said, you run with it, because it is a meme coin. It is a meme coin cycle. And when Pulse Chain gets going and more eyes get on it, you're already taking that position as the first meme coin with utility. So you're literally just opening eyes to a whole nother, like, you might have some copycats later down the road, which is always a good thing. When the copycats come, that means you made it and your market cap is nice and high.
Mm-hmm. Don't be offended, Chaka Vibe. So I'm going to pop that into ChatGPT because I've been using that a lot and see what it comes up with too. Because I like rewards. People don't necessarily care about utility, but rewards, that's exciting. That's like a buzzword. So not that we're going to use that one. We might come up with another one, and it's ultimately up to the community and the founder. But I would definitely like to play on that and the comments you made about putting that tagline on the website and on our Twitter homepage. 100%. I'm all for it. You got any comments, Zen?
Yeah, I think rewards is an interesting buzzword because some people are interested in APR and some people are interested in X's, and that's kind of why I always say the slogan that people come for the X's and they'll stay for the APR, because once you do the X's, the only thing you can do with some tokens is sell them. And if they're at least paying APR, at least you have a reason to hold up the price for your ecosystem at the same time. But going back, I guess, to what we were saying, I was going to ask B. Ruth if he thinks playing on the alien technology narrative in that slogan, do you think that's worth it or a little bit too much and confusing?
Yeah, keep it simple.
Okay.
Taglines should be very straightforward. On a website, like I said, what really it always drew me to both websites was it's the best way to say it. It draws you in, intrigues you in. The only one I've ever seen that was just as, I will say it's better, just for some construction criticism, but it's not even criticism. It's just I do think that website was better. That drew me in was Colt. So that website really draws you in. The pTGC website does the exact same thing. If you just somehow incorporated, the first meme coin with utility within that, that drawing you in, what that does is just intrigues you. So, it's all,
I appreciate that.
It's selling it. It's selling to you. So like when you have that and you're like, the first meme coin utility, I want to know more. And then once you keep that person on to that website for 30, 45 seconds a minute, you got them. So that's the key.
You want to know something funny, Moon King? We flipped Colt Dow already.
I didn't even know they're still active. They're still doing stuff.
Supposedly, but I don't know. I've been hearing them, but yeah, we flipped them.
Yo, we flipped Colt day one, bro. What are you talking about?
I know, but I just wanted everybody in the audience to understand that we already did that.
But
Yeah.
that website was, it was very easy for me to market that coin in a matter of one tweet because you put that website on and it draws you in. So it's like, what's like, I want to know more. That's the key thing. Like if you spend the time on your website and just really dig down and think about what makes a very good website, what makes a very good website is something that actually wants you looking for more. Whether it's a Starbucks advertisement, whether it's McDonald's, whatever it is, like the homepage of the website allows you to scroll down, and the more you keep scrolling down, the more likely you're about to get a sale. So you have to think of marketing in that kind of perspective, and pTGC does a good job of that. I remember one time, I think Zen, you gave me one of the websites, and I was like, no, bro, don't do that. No, like the other one's better. Like the other one's way better. So it's like, because you just don't want to lose that intriguing thing. And then when you create the latest one, it was just as good, if not better, I think. So it's one of those things. It's like, just keep it simple, but also make somebody always be thinking, is this going to make me want to scroll down more? Mm-hmm. And if you do that, then you're selling your product, which in reality is getting another wallet holder.
Yeah, I was kind of trying to come up with the upgraded website design, and B-Root shot down my first go at it because I was asking for his marketing expertise. But Cult DAO is one of the projects I really, really studied since we were trying to be one of the first DAOs on PulseChain, if not the first DAO on PulseChain, I believe. And they had so much success right at launch. I also really dove into what I believed was their failure as well. And I believe I've corrected that with our protocol, but definitely they killed it on so many aspects. And I tried to, and it's not even only Cult DAO or Hex and like tons of other projects. I tried to study like probably around 100 projects and take what I thought made them succeed and get rid of what made them fail to really put together the ultimate token, because most people aren't striving for that, but that's ultimately what I was striving for, was to create the end-all be-all token of sorts. Narrative, memeability, tokenomics, decentralization, longevity, marketability, and Cult DAO. I felt like I remember when it came out, and I remember everyone was talking about it. And obviously, you want to strive for things like that. I didn't want to strive for the lack of longevity of it, but for how it really enthralled people with its name, with its website, I was impressed by.
Anybody else want to jump in? We've been on for almost 2 hours. We'll shut it down in just a few minutes unless somebody wants to jump in. We'll let you talk. Give your backstory.
I just want to thank B-Roots for coming in and spending the time to educate us. It's obvious he's the marketing guru of all of crypto, and I mean that sincerely. So his advice is it's worth a lot more than $8 a month. And for him to come back in here and give us all these little tidbits and information, and especially that tagline, the first meme coin with utility, I think is absolutely perfect. I think it doesn't even warrant any further thinking. I mean, that is the tagline. Rewards, all that, lots of things say they have rewards and they're from inflation and it's a bunch of smoke and mirrors, but utility is just such a better word. And it really is the first meme coin with utility. And I just, again, want to thank him for coming in today.
Yeah.
On a Saturday, nonetheless, because the man be taking off on the weekend. So for him to come in here and kick it with us on a Saturday, that speaks volume.
Yeah, I'm just walking these kids, these horses. Y'all think I'm a city guy. I'm actually a country dude. I live around a bunch of horses and donkeys, bro. But I'm also potty training too. So the wife is at work and the nanny is on vacation. So your boy B-Roots is doing some kid work.
Yeah, we've all been.
And I'm already unsuccessful at the beginning of the day, so this boy does not want to tell me you gotta go to bed.
Well, at least you're in the country. It makes it easier, especially when you're a boy. When you're a man, the world is your. You can fill in the blank.
Well, I'll give a couple of updates. I have my video of pTGC coming out tomorrow or Monday. So It's gonna be about an 8 to 10 minute like deep dive, kind of like what's his face did as well. Also, a couple other things that I'm personally in the background working and diving deep on. That will be coming out probably maybe in the next couple of weeks or so. And you never know on my daily streams whenever I just do stuff. So I would be watching my morning streams, 6:30 in the morning. Conversation never got boring. What a concept. So there's some alpha for you guys right there as well. Wanted everybody to know.
Yep. Make sure you follow Moon King and Coach and Gugat, everybody here on Twitter and on YouTube as well. Blackthorn, I see you back in the chat. Cryptographics is having a pTGC Masters class on September 14th. So if you want to reach out to me directly or Zen or Coach to find out more about that, or you can probably just go to Graphics' YouTube and click on the pTGC video that he dropped this week. He mentions the class at the end of the video.
Thank you. I will.
Cool. Zen, are we good?
Real quick before we go, coaches, your class is coming out soon too.
Yeah, website is all the way done. I just have to do one or two things. So I think that might start next week. So I will be having a personal Telegram, a private Telegram for people to. It's just going to be a very good educational tool for you, for newbies, for it's not going to be too much of a shill group at the beginning, but it might adopt into something like that down the line. But also, you can also, if you want to do a one-on-one call, it's going to be a lot easier access. And there's going to be also possibly some fun data some things that you can help pivot your future crypto journeys and even stocks too as well. So that's going to be coming out this week or next week. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah.
I know Shocky even brought up B-Roots has a subscriber group that I believe talks a few times a week, and it's very, very affordable. And the alpha that comes out of that is probably the best money you could spend, especially in a bull market. So, support people who are out here supporting us.
I just dropped B-Roots' Twitter in the chat. I am B-Roots if you want to search it. I am B-Roots. And yeah, for $10 a month, you're going to get a lot of content mostly about meme coins, and he's excellent at TA, let me tell you. All right, guys. Unless you're opposed to it, Zen, we're going to shut it down.
Yeah, no, my son just got up, so I'm going to hang out with them.
Okay. Guys, it was fun. Thank you for hanging out. We're going to do this again on Monday, and we have a lot of work to do, but we can handle it. We can do it. So I'll get my brain engaged and get to work on some things, and we'll see you guys on Monday. Thanks so much. Bye. We're done on the space. That's just you and me. Wow, that was so good. Lots of notes. Shaka, if you're still watching, first meme coin with utility. Yeah, man. I'm not opposed. I love utility. So, yeah, whatever works. You know what I mean? Whatever is going to work best. But I think what we need to do is I'll get these notes together and we'll pop it up into the Telegram. maybe put them in priority order, and we'll just start working on them. But yeah, it's not going to be all up to me, and I'm not telling any of you guys what to do. All right, guys, I'm going to end this. Have a great weekend. We'll see y'all on Monday.